sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Governor.
Yeah, every time.
I can't help it. If I go, hello, Governor's coming out afterwards. Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And this is I already said, it's A Couple of Sassholes. In case you guys didn't know, now you know.
Maybe they skipped ahead 4 seconds and missed that part.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I love Heather's so far away from the mic because her mic just picks up her eyes blinking.
Yeah, my eyelashes made wind in the microphone earlier, so I'm literally like in the other room screaming like I'm a yodeler on a mountain.
It's what it looks like.
It's very funny.
It is. You're really far away.
I know.
Jordan will love that, as he still says that you're louder than me.
Thanks, producer Jordan.
Hey, so yeah, this is, if you don't know, it's a true crime podcast.
Yes.
Where we talk about fucked up shit. Yeah, that was my big
That was your big one, huh?
Yeah, Heather's been gone. This is my first time seeing her in 9 days.
I know.
She got the vid.
I did. 3.5 years. Finally got me down.
Very circa 2020 over here.
I know.
Heather.
I'm late to the party.
So
I don't
late.
like to do it when it's trendy. I like to do it when no one cares about it. And they're like, she just has COVID. And I was literally like dying.
Yep. Everyone's like, now that you got it, no one cares.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. No, I'm kidding. I'm thankful to be back. I'm thankful to see people. My Becky. I get to touch Will today because I haven't seen. He didn't have it. He tested 5 times, so he was locked in. I was locked in the bedroom like a prisoner. And my dog thinks we're getting a divorce.
Maybe you guys should, because he's obviously stronger than you. My comment is always survival of the fittest.
And now we fight.
I don't know how he didn't get it, man. Every time somebody came into our home with it.
I don't either. I have no idea. He took tests like a crazy person, too.
I bet he did.
Yeah. And anywho.
Well, I'm glad that you're...
Be careful, everyone, because it is not fun.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it.
There
Don't be
really
careful,
isn't.
guys. I use Bath & Body Works hand sand so that you smell like a fresh little pumpkin.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of pumpkin, Brooklyn brought me some pumpkin coffee that she made, and it's delightful.
I did. I made a PSL, a pumpkin spice latte, for the 4 people who didn't know what a PSL was.
So if you hear the ice.
Yep, that's me. Sorry.
Either your headbutt in the microphone which I definitely won't today. I'm 45 miles away from it. But.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was one of the Pinterest ones in the crock pot. Mm-hmm. So it's just a whole bunch of coffee, some heavy cream, I think some nutmeg, maybe some ground cinnamon.
Yeah?
Yeah. Wow. And, there's pumpkin puree in there, which is that really sexy, gritty.
Gritty
texture that you got going on there.
Yeah, it's fine, though. I need it.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I am so glad.
I know.
Yeah. I just banter. We should talk about some things. First, let's talk about fucking Danny Masterson.
Oh, my God.
That 70s show.
Fuck him.
I was so bummed. I was watching The Ranch whenever he got kicked off for it, and I was very much...
That Netflix show?
Yeah.
Ranch?
I automatically... oh, man, this will get me hate fucking stares, but I automatically feel like when it's a famous person, it's a lie. I hate to say it, but... I thought the same thing with the guy who played Big in Sex and the City. I was Chris Noth. I was like, they are famous and they're good looking. They can get the poontang. They can literally go anywhere and get some poons.
These stories were too fucked up, though, for them
and that's
to...
the thing. Same thing with Chris Noth. I read his shit and I was like, fuck you, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck you, rapist.
Yeah.
Like, I was so angry, and that's what sucked too. I was like, no, it can't be. And then I remember looking into it and looking into the stories and realizing they were just terrible, and being like, this isn't made up. You have a little moment of where you hope that it wasn't true.
Yeah. And I hate where there's some people who cry wolf that make it look bad for the others, but I did believe them for some reason because it had to do with Scientology.
I didn't know anything about the Scientology part of it.
Well, I love Leah Remini and Mike Render. They have a podcast and stuff about it because they battle them all the time. So I just followed them, and I'd heard about all that other stuff through them. So when this came out, I was like, of course he did. And then did you see where Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, they came back and were like, his family asked us to do it. We did it. We weren't taken away from the victims.
Right.
They had to re-release a statement because they were only supposed to show that to the judge about what they knew of him publicly.
Yeah.
So kind of.
I mean, that has to be hard. Usually raping isn't a thing that you do publicly with your friends.
Yeah.
It's not, we went to dinner and then we did some rapes.
Yeah,
Like, that's not really the
Dr.
case.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like, that's how my guy is in my story today. Nobody knew who he really was.
So
like, if the character witness that knew him from work wouldn't know who he was behind closed doors. So you never know.
And that's everyone. That's everything. I could character witness the fuck out of people here at work, but I don't know if they got somebody chained up in their basement. Which honestly, I don't know if I'd be too shocked.
Right.
Nothing would shock me anymore. So I was in my car yesterday trying to hook up my Alexa in my vehicle because I had unplugged it or whatever. And fucking Travis, I told him I grabbed my keys. I was like, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm not leaving. And he comes up and just opens it. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, you don't fucking do that to someone who has a true crime podcast, Travis. My God. You just made me shit myself. It scared the living shit out of me because I was looking the other way and like not even, don't do that. He knows better than to do that. Motherfucker. That's what I got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker. It's the 10th. Will the next time that we record, will you be older?
No. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, we recorded on the 14th.
You were right.
But I appreciate you for trying to give me a birthday shout out.
Well, I was really just calling you out for getting old, but
you just have to remind me every fucking time that I am 2 years older than you.
And you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, we got some shit going on.
We do. Rock, paper, scissors.
Happening.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. Do you want to go first? Because you just came out of the COVID and you haven't been talking.
You know what?
Now you have words.
I think I should.
To speak.
I do have words to speak.
Yeah, you speak those fucking words.
All the way back here on the wall. I'm going to speak these words.
You can barely even hear your words. So like, what do you say?
You'll have to listen to the podcast just so you can hear.
I'm going to try to drink my drink far away from the mic as well.
I could do it too.
It'll pick up on your mic because your fucking mic is so loud.
We could do it together. Well, now I want to drink because you're doing it. Mm-hmm.
That's usually how that works.
That is how that works.
For everyone, always.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you the story of Vincent Brothers. Have you ever heard of this man? Because I knew when you saw the notes, you probably thought it was two brothers with the last name of Vincent. That's actually
100%.
I knew you did, and that's actually his last name.
I don't give it much thought.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I don't want you to.
Good.
But I mean, I'd never heard of this one before. I literally just stumbled across it when I was in COVID jail.
There are no bells that are ringing.
No bells?
Nope.
No whistles?
Nope.
Okay. My sources, I know you're going to be shocked, Wikipedia.
What's that?
What's that? Well, no. KGET.com, Bakersfield.com, and then an episode of Crime Cave podcast. Okay. So Joni Harper was born on November 14th, 1963. She had a very religious and respected family in their community there in Bakersfield. She was a stellar athlete and apparently was really good at basketball in high school. And then later on, she was actually a Division I women's basketball referee on the side just for fun. So she loved it. From 1994 on, Joni was the campus supervisor at Bakersfield City School District, which basically meant she was over security and safety for the schools, which I didn't know they had. Ernestine,
I hope they would have.
Right? I know.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Hashtag gun violence.
But I mean, 94, I don't know.
What was that thing? Columbine. That happened.
I don't remember when that was.
I'll find out.
Okay.
I don't know why this is just adding no value to anything.
To our
My apologies. It's because I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm also mildly hungover and I'm just pulling my shit together.
You got it.
As an adult anymore, it's like I'm not hungover, I'm just tired. So I'm trying really hard to fire on all my cylinders.
Yeah, and I'm over here with COVID brain, so I'm like, this is
going to be our best episode.
This is going to be a chart topper. Okay.
Wow. The emphasis on your P on top.
I got to hit that P hard.
Oh, it was in 99.
Okay. So Ernestine Harper was Joni's mom, and she was huge in community activism. She fought for like the wrongfully accused and seemed fearless to everyone. She never backed down. People really liked her too. They lived in a troubled neighborhood, so Joni also dedicated time to helping troubled youth in the area stay like on the straight and narrow. I'm telling you, we are a power couple today.
We are, and we look like one. The important thing is that we look like it.
Yes, we do. Basically, Ernestine was a badass, and then she raised Joni to be the same way. And through Joni's job, she met a man named Vincent Brothers, and he was the vice principal at Fremont Elementary School. I didn't even know they had vice principals in elementary schools.
Yeah, they have them everywhere.
Oh,
I have no idea.
I went to a small one. So.
We don't even have kids. I couldn't fucking tell you shit about the school system today. I don't know anything.
Vincent.
You tell me they have 3 vice presidents. I'd be like, I said presidents. Oh, fuck. No.
Man, you guys, we have other episodes. This is our 64th. We have several others if you'd just like to go to those. We promise we're good. All right, we got it. Game face. Vincent Edward Brothers was born on May 31st, 1962, and had a single mom who raised him and 10 other kids in Long Island, New York. Single
10.
mom, 11 children.
Oof.
Yeah, no. That doesn't sound like a fun time.
I want to know where the dad was.
I don't have any info on, hardly any on that. I think he was in the military and somehow he, like not his dad, Vincent. And then he ended up in California and started working in education. People described him as, quote, a stern leader who mixed encouragement and discipline in daily lessons to young people on how to survive in tough neighborhoods. The kids loved him and they respected him. They even ran up to him whenever he got there to school and they were super excited to see him.
Oh, good.
Vincent and Joni became pillars of their community and had a reputation as a tag team in the community help because they both had a passion for helping children.
Cute.
Mm-hmm. They were even featured on the news, and Vincent was named the caring vice principal and all that. So there were a lot of clips online of them. They would walk kids home.
I'm about to get mad. I can already tell. I'm getting mad.
You are.
Fuck.
You are. But they would walk kids home from school and talk to them about their home life. And parents were interviewed on the news saying how great of people they were and all that stuff. So.
Do you like how I go, I have a feeling something bad is going to happen? You fucking idiot. This is a true crime podcast. Of course something bad's going to happen.
I just wanted to give you the mystery. Okay, so set the scene. Basically, power couple, outside looking in, they were perfect. But however, that's not what it was. They were definitely on again, off again, to say the least, and they had a lot of problems. Joni had their first son, Marcus Harper, and he didn't even give him his last name, by the way, on November 15th, 1998. Joni and Vincent decided finally to become official and got married in January of 2000, and then they moved in together. 2 weeks later, Joni drew up papers to separate and said nullification based on fraud as her reason.
Huh.
Vincent failed to tell her that he had been divorced 3 times before this.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. She dug up a lot of shit. He got mad at her because he would just disappear for days at a time and then flip his shit whenever she'd ask where he was because he just wouldn't answer his phone. He would just
leave. My gosh.
He would just leave. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I would, D word would definitely be happening.
Oh, yeah.
Death. No, I'm kidding.
Speaking of exes, his first wife, Shan Kern, had his daughter, Margaret, in 1988. Shortly after, when Shan asked him, why are you doing that Houdini shit again, like he did with Joni, and he beat the shit out of her, and then he got arrested for spousal abuse. His second marriage was due to the same shit, but he threatened to murder her.
Oh, sounds like a stand-up guy in the community.
And every time he would go cheat, then he would get mad.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Was he good looking?
You can look him up.
Well, I don't mind if I do.
Okay.
I believe I will.
Yeah. He was cheating constantly, like I said. So Joni, for some reason, bless her, kept going back to him. And she had their daughter, Lindsay, on August 5th in 2000.
No, he is not good looking at all. Nope. He reminds me of a turtle.
He does kind of. What's that one famous turtle?
Yep,
the cartoon. What's his name?
I don't know. The famous turtle guy. Terry the turtle. I don't know.
Everyone's Terry the turtle.
Cartoon turtle. Turtle.
Okay. So get this. January of 2000.
Sorry.
What's his name?
Sorry, they just showed it him walking, and it's just he totally looks like that guy.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Cecil turtle.
Anyway.
I'm done. I quit. It's fine.
Okay, January 2003, they decided to get married yet again in Vegas. Nobody wanted this, of course, but these two. Even her best friend refused to go and was like, this is not a good idea. So, no, I'm not going.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Burr.
No. And how long do you think that lasted?
I don't know, for 8 days.
4 months.
Oh.
It lasted till April. Vincent moved out 4 months later, and he blamed it all on Ernestine, his mother-in-law, because she lived with them too. And
that's usually not a sign of a successful. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we were living with my mom, me and Travis would be fighting. If we were living with Travis's mom, me and Travis would be fighting.
Here's the thing. She probably saw how he treated her and just disappeared and got on his shit because she never bit her tongue. So she's probably like, why are you treating my daughter like a fucking asshole? Which I would too.
Yeah.
And during this time, Joni was pregnant and had their third child, Marshall, in May of 2003. Okay. July 2nd, 2003, Vincent was like, hey, I'm going to go on a trip to see my brother in Columbus, Ohio for the 4th of July holiday, because clearly things were going very swimmingly in their relationship, so it didn't matter if he went across the country, right? While there, he got a Dodge Neon and then ended up driving down to North Carolina with his brother to visit his mom.
Cute.
Now, back in California on July 6th, Joni, her mom, and the 3 kids, they got up, went to church, and that was the first time she had taken little baby Marshall, who was 2 months old, to church, and everybody was excited because they were very active there. So she was all excited about that. They picked up their best friends, and they went to a holiday cookout, and then they went home to take a nap. Like, they went to church, went to a cookout, and she was like, I'm freaking tired. I have a 2-month-old and kids. Like, I need a nap.
I need a nap. I feel that.
Right. When they didn't show up for church that night, Joni's best friend Kelsey was really freaked out, and she didn't answer her for 2 days. So she was like, fuck this. And then about 7 a.m. on July 8th, she went over to their house.
So it took, okay. Wow, that's a lot of church action. Let's first just highlight, I can't go morning, noon, and night.
Yeah, the timelines on those are different. I read a lot of different things. Some people said that all happened in the same day. Some people said the cookout was the day before.
Who cares?
That part's kind of irrelevant. Either way, they were tired, had to go to night church.
Yeah.
Nap.
Night church.
I didn't know what it's called. Evening services.
I guess.
Evening worship. That's
yeah. God, I hate the word worship. Anyway, okay. So they waited 2 days. That's kind of a long time, friend.
Yeah. Okay. Poor Kelsey found the entire family dead.
Stop.
The whole family. When the cops got there, it was really bad. Ernestine was shot twice in the face at point blank range in the hallway. They found Joni and her 3 kids in the bedroom laying where they went to nap before the church.
Aww.
Joni had been shot in the arm and 2 times in the head and had 7 stab wounds in the back that were post-gunshot. 2-year-old Lindsay was shot in the back. Marcus, who was 4 at the time, was on his bed beside his mom. His eyes were open, and he was covered under a sheet, and he was shot in the head through the sheet. So he was awake. At first, they thought baby Marshall was missing, but they found him under a pillow, and he had a gunshot wound to the back also. I hate all of this.
How the fuck?
Yeah. All of this. And then they said that there was a couple, it looked like a staged robbery, couple, like purses, both their purses
You're
were
not
turned
gonna,
over.
Annihilate a family for a purse and a TV.
That's what they were saying. And the fact that she was stabbed after she was shot, you're not going to take the time to do that. The cops found Vincent in North Carolina at his mom's, and they obviously took him in. They released him 12 hours later, though, because they didn't have enough to hold him.
I'm sure.
Yeah. He was free for 10 months and then rearrested and went to trial in 2007. But of course, like, how the hell did he do this when he was in Ohio and North Carolina? But remember, he flew to see his brother, and then the 2 went down in that shitty Neon. Like, to see, right?
Not to mention, that's not that far. Like, we're not talking California to Maine.
I mean, yeah, but it's still, it's like 36 hours away or something. Like, it's pretty far, like, of a drive.
North Carolina and Ohio?
No, from Ohio and North Carolina to California.
Oh.
Because it happened.
Oh. I was like, sis, Ohio to North Carolina is not far.
But like across the country, like he was supposed to be in Ohio because he had credit card receipts.
Right, and the family
his cell
lived
phone
where?
was pinging in Columbus, Bakersfield, in California.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, firing all cylinders.
Yeah. So now okay, we're good?
Yes,
okay.
The math is mathin'.
Good, okay. And the defense attorney was like, so maybe someone got mad at Ernestine because she was such an activist and all that. So they thought that maybe they just got mad at her for helping people, like wrongfully accused, out of jail or something. Took it out on the whole family. But either way, y'all, like that's 2,000 miles away is what they were trying to say. However, the rental car that he had, which apparently was like brand new whenever he got it, when he turned it back in, it had 5,400 miles on it. And Vincent was like,
what a fucking idiot. Okay.
You know what he said? He said, he goes, I was like, we were taking a joyride. 5,400, you take road trips. 5,400 miles, he said he did. All
right, for me to drive from Evansville, Indiana to Miami, Florida was like 2,100 miles. So I'm like, and that was like a 20-hour drive that was exhausting. And you're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
My gosh.
The prosecutor was like, you're a fucking liar. They put him on the stand, first of all, which I didn't watch that because it would just make me mad because of how bad the murder was. But he lied 41 times while he was testifying about shit. She counted, and she rebutted every single one of them because they had like over 140 witnesses total, or 37 or something. So they found security camera footage of the credit card receipts and cross-referenced, and it was Melvin, who was his brother, back in Ohio. And he was like, oh, no, that wasn't me. And they're like, we literally have you on camera, dude. And then he finally caved and was like, well, my brother made me do that. They also found a glove with Vincent's DNA under Joni's purse.
O.J. Simpson?
Right. He tried to say he was doing work over in the house for them before he left for his trip, like because they were fixing something and he left it over there.
Oh my God.
Just happened to be under her overturned purse of a crime scene. But anyway. Also, a neighbor testified that she'd seen Vincent around the back patio door around that time when they were supposed to be killed. The most interesting thing, though, that I read was like just to prove that they were able to prove that he wasn't on an East Coast joyride because bug guts. I know. Listen,
that's smart,
right?
Yeah,
so
certain bugs in certain areas.
Yeah, and I never once given this a lick of thought. So, bug expert found parts of bugs like outside and inside of the car that were only found west of the Rockies on two of the paths that you could take to get from where he was to California. So there's no way he was innocent.
I really love whenever they do their jobs.
Yeah, and well.
Yeah. Well, that's literally doing their job. But yeah.
Because when they went to tell him at his mom's house that the family was killed, right? Then he was like, yeah, he apparently, quote unquote, freaked out. His mom said he did. No one saw it. But then when they went to tell him his family was like, because they got a hold of his mom first because they couldn't get a hold of him. Well, when he got there, they tell him that his whole family's dead.
Which would be the most devastating thing in the whole world.
Yeah, so he freaks out, and they were like, the husband did it. That's what they always say, so they want to bring him in. Well, when they bring him in, he's like, I'll come in the next day. I need to process this. He comes in the next day. He won't talk to him at all, and he's got a lawyer already in California, like overnight. So
as he should have.
Yeah, but he already looks suspect.
But at the end of the day,
yeah,
if you are a man and your whole family got killed, you better walk in with an attorney.
Right.
Anyone.
You can still talk to him.
If I get murdered, you bring an attorney.
Yeah, I will, but I'm not going to be like, well, I'm not talking to you. Like they said, his demeanor totally changed a little bit.
Oh, man, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I'm just also thinking, too, like, usually when those things happen, they don't make them do it the same day because they're in shock.
Yeah.
Usually not whenever, though, if you're the one that killed the entire family.
I know. So it takes 32 hours to get from Columbus to Bakersfield, and he did all this on no sleep. He used only cash. He went to small rest areas that he knew didn't have cameras somehow. He would, like, scope them out, and if they had cameras, he'd go somewhere else in 32 hours. So psycho. Like, how angry would you have to be to drive for 32 hours and try that? Like, no. His motive was selfishness and greed. She had told him right before he left that she was going to file for full custody and make him pay child support. And he wanted to be a cheating shithead and not pay for his family.
Motherfucker, man.
I know. He wanted to run around and be a hoe and not have to fuck with his family anymore.
I get wanting to, fucking go to Pound Town weekly in different villages, if you will.
Villages.
But the fact that, like, it was so unnecessary, like, yeah, you do need to pay for your family, but you also don't have to take care of all these fucking kids. I think you'd be like, score. Like, right? I don't have to fuck with these kids. I don't even have to have custody, so I don't even have to fucking deal with my little annoying shits.
He didn't want to financially pay for
them either.
I
know.
He wasn't even there for 2 of their births. Like, he was...
Oh, my God.
Behind closed doors, he was a piece of shit. Obviously. In May of 2007, Vincent Brothers was found guilty on 5 counts of first-degree murder with special circumstances for multiple murders. He was sentenced to death by lethal injection and put on death row. And then there's something with they overturned the death penalty. He's still there in San Quentin.
Ooh,
right now.
San Quentin.
Mm-hmm. I hope holding somebody's pocket.
Oh, his butthole is definitely stretched out.
Oh, I hope it is.
Yeah. I hope whenever he sneezes, he poops a little. That's what I hope.
Hot dog hallway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope every time he sneezes, he has to go, whoopsie. That's what I hope.
I can't wait.
Those are my hopes. Those are my hopes and dreams.
It's nice to have those.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember Margaret, like his first baby from 1988, like his first daughter. She's 18 now, and she actually had a relationship with...
his first baby
from his other marriage,
right,
the one that he got arrested for
in 1988. But she's 18 now, dude. I'm from 87 and I am 35.
I don't know. Did she at the time? The math isn't mathing. I put a lot of stuff together.
No, I hear it. So at the time that was written, whoever wrote that, she was 18.
Sure.
I'm going to say
she was an adult.
Yes.
We're just going to say adult.
I was like, because she's now 35.
People are here
34.
for the facts. She has AARP. No.
Hey.
So anyway, his adult daughter,
Jeez.
She had a relationship with the Harpers. Like, she loved her step siblings, and even though her dad didn't really give a shit, Joni was so nice she actually let her come around, and they were together a lot.
Oh.
So she looked him in the eye at his sentencing and said, and I quote, she was resigning from Brothers family and forever be Margaret Kern. She walked out right after she called her dad just a man handcuffed to a chair. She literally just walked out of the room like a badass. Doesn't that sound like a movie? Yeah. And they set it up to where she gets any money, like if there's any life insurance or anything, she gets all of it, which is good. Like I said, he's still there in San Quentin, and I hope his life is fucking terrible. And that is the sad story of the family annihilator, Vincent Edward Brothers, who killed Ernestine Harper, Joni Harper, Marcus Harper, Lindsay Harper, and baby Marshall.
My gosh.
I do have a question that I couldn't find the answer to. There was another girl that, because like obviously he had a past, but he was also in the school system. And I feel like there was a lot of covering ups or something. Because one time there was a girl that worked with him, and she said he came to her house. He like said, "Can I come in and talk?" And she's like, "Yeah," because they worked together or whatever. He tried to take her clothes off and take pictures of her after he hit her. And then she somehow got out because she tried to call the cops and he hit the phone out of her hand. She gets out to her car. She goes to the police station. He's got such a good reputation in the community publicly that they urge her to reconsider. So she doesn't file charges. So then she goes to the school where he worked, and it wasn't Fremont's one before that. And she goes to the school, and she's like, this dude literally came into my house and tried to take naked pictures of me and hit me. And they were like, well, we'll look into it. He never got formally charged with anything. Like, they didn't do any disciplinary action, and then they just transferred him to Fremont as a vice principal. So I want to know, there's some shady shit that was happening behind the scenes because he did so much good work publicly, I think.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like such a aggressive behavior.
Yeah.
Now you're with little kids.
I know. He was definitely like, it makes me sick to think. And then all those parents that were going on the news, and I heard recordings of them saying like, you know, he helped my kids so much. They love him. He cares so much about that. And then to hear that he did that to his own children.
Right.
Yeah. Like the one kid was awake.
Were their kids.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, he got some of them in the back. They were just, I mean, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah, the one in the bed with her was awake. His eyes were open. Yeah. And he had bitten through his hand. He was so scared he bit through his own hand to bone when they found him.
Aww, that's so sad.
I know. Sorry for the bummer, but I fucking hate that guy.
I fucking hate him too.
I know.
All of our merch is just like fuck random murderers' names. Like fuck Vincent Brothers.
Right.
All the time.
That's what I think it should be.
I mean, why not?
I don't know. Are you going to keep it on this sad bandwagon?
No, this one's a really fun one.
Good. It's not.
No, this one's actually really wild.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but I'm also like.
Interesting. Tell me a story. It happened. We can talk about it.
Yeah. So let's taco about it, if you will.
Okay.
I used allthat'sinteresting.com. I also, I wrote Reddit, but I don't think there's a single thing that I took from Reddit, but it's on my piece of paper. And so I'm saying it out loud because I really don't think I did. And then my slutty little hoe wiki. I always got to use her. So our story begins with a lovely older couple named Fred and Edwina Rogers. Fred is a glorious 81-year-old retired real estate salesman. And Edwina is 79, and she was banging because she was a sales rep.
Awesome.
And I just feel like this was back in 1965 where we weren't allowed to do anything but have kind of boring sex, play with kids,
missionary and bake pies.
And bake casseroles.
Yeah.
I felt like that's what was going on back there. But she was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to sell encyclopedias.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Bet she made bank, too.
I mean, I don't know. I saw photos of the house, and I don't know that that's a fact. But who knows?
In my head, she did well.
Yeah. In my head, she did too.
Okay.
I agree.
Good.
They live in Houston, Texas, and they have one son together, and his name's Charles Frederick Rogers. Fred, his dad, that is short for Frederick.
Mind blowing. We keep you on your toes, listeners. We keep you guys on your toes. That's why they keep coming back for more.
I know. Don't blame you at all.
For math and facts.
Math and facts.
Math and facts.
That's what our fucking podcast name should be. Just math and facts. So this guy is really fucking smart, though. They basically bred a genius. He's a seismologist and a fucking pilot.
What is it? Seismologist?
I knew you'd ask.
Is that earthquakes?
A seismologist is a scientist who studies earthquakes and seismic waves. Seismologists are experts in seismology, which is the study of earthquakes and their effects, such as tsunamis and landslides. They use seismographs and computer equipment to collect and analyze data on seismic events. And there you have it.
I don't know how I knew
that is my story of Fred and Edwina
She just wanted to read a.
I just wanted you guys to know.
That's right.
I like definitions. Charles Rogers, he ends up enrolling in Texas A&M University in 1942. He later drops out. He then enrolls at the University of Houston, where he earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in nuclear physics, as one does.
Right?
As one does. It's amazing. I have one of those.
You do?
Yeah.
I thought that's what was hanging in your office.
Went and did it and talked about it and got a piece of paper for it.
I did mine online during COVID.
I feel
COVID
that.
lockdown.
Well, after that, he was like, I guess I should fight wars. So during World War II, he ends up being a pilot in the United States Navy.
Whoa, hot.
And, okay, Daddy. I see you.
Talk to me, Goose.
Right. And then he also served in the Office of Naval Intelligence as well. So he was like, sexy, sprinkle on more hot.
I mean,
Let's do it. After the war, he worked as a seismologist for Shell Oil for 9 years. And then he abruptly quits his job in 1957 without giving any explanation.
Oh,
Very weird.
that's weird.
He's known by his friends as being super, super intelligent. Duh. I mean, duh.
What?
They were like, he's a smart guy. Fuck, for real? I had no
Wow.
idea with all of those accolades.
It sounded like mediocrity until you said his friend said he was smart. And then I was like, you know what? I bet they're
Hard-hitting
right.
news.
That's
It's hard-hitting news. I'm here to give you hard-hitting news. And I'm just going to keep doing it. So anyway, he has a talent for finding gas. So as a seismologist and as a pilot, he ends up using his prowess on figuring out where gas is for oil companies.
okay.
And gold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Finds the money.
Yeah. You ain't lying. Big pieces of money. He also speaks 7 different languages. And he had an interest in ham radios. And I was like, Heather's going to laugh because ham radios were the earliest radios and they were just called ham radios. Ham, like what I used
oink?
to sell. Ham. Yeah. Ham radios. And they're really, really complex. It's literally, essentially, obviously for communication for military, but it was also used for entertainment too. But it was the intro fucking radios.
What does that stand for?
I didn't look that part up because
in my head,
I have more to tell you.
In my head, it's shaped like a pig. But anyway, keep going.
Okay, that's stupid, but I love
You
it.
said ham.
I know. In the mid-1950s, Rogers joined the Civil Air Patrol, where he reportedly met this guy named David Ferry, an alleged conspirator in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
Oh.
I know. So peep this. Rogers' life was documented in the 1992 book, The Man on the Grassy Knoll by John R. Craig and Philip A. Rogers. According to this work, Rogers was a CIA agent who was postulated to have impersonated Lee Harvey Oswald in Mexico City, and along with Charles Harrelson, was one of the 2 shooters involved in the assassination of President Kennedy.
What?
Yeah. The authors contend that Rogers, Harrelson, and Chauncey Holt were the 3 tramps who were arrested in the Dealey Plaza after the assassination.
Whoa. Isn't that Harrelson guy Woody's dad?
I don't know.
I feel like that's true.
It would make sense.
Speculation.
Good
But
call.
Chauncey.
I know.
Chauncey.
I know.
Doesn't
What a
it
name.
just sound like a fun French gay guy? Chauncey.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I would love to hang out with Chauncey.
I also feel like he's just a smooth dresser.
Not this Chauncey. Not
Yeah.
one that got arrested. Another Chauncey.
A different one.
In France.
Anyway. Yeah. So let's get back to where we were.
Okay.
Shall we? We're gonna ratchet around and we're gonna talk about where he at the time of what I'm now going to tell you about.
Okay.
He is jobless and living with his parents.
Okay. Wow.
So we turned left and right, we pivoted, and here we are.
Okay.
On June 26, 1965, 2 Houston police officers are dispatched to their home to conduct a welfare check after Edwina's nephew Marvin reported that all of his phone calls were basically going unanswered to his aunt, and it had been days. And so he was like, this is making me uncomfortable. Can you guys please go check out my aunt and uncle?
Yeah.
They knock on the door and no one answers. And so the officers are like, fuck this. And they
Bust her in.
blow through that front door like it's nobody's business. Upon entering, the officers find, and I love how it goes, the officers found nothing unusual, but noticed that there was food sitting on the dining room table. I'm like, that is unusual.
Just food out.
Just food out. Like they were sitting down having a meal and then just gone. Weird. Hashtag, that is unusual. Hard-hitting facts. One officer decides to open up the refrigerator. I'll never understand this. I will never understand.
Why he got in the fridge? Oh, I'm nosy. I'd look in the fridge.
You're looking for two adults, and he's like, "Oh, just let's see."
Well,
what
maybe
kind
he could be like, "Well, if they leave food out, what's in here?"
Yeah, I would.
Who knows? I'm nosy. I would look through it.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. And whenever he opens up the refrigerator, he finds what looks like numerous cuts of washed, unwrapped meat that's neatly stacked on the shelves.
Don't you tell me.
He assumes automatically, he's like, "Oh, it's probably just a hog meat. Like they butchered a hog, and here is their unwrapped meats." Yes.
I don't want you to keep.
So whenever he goes to close the refrigerator door, he just happens to like glance down, and he looks in the vegetable drawer.
No.
Where he finds 2 human heads.
No. Shut up. Stop it. No.
Yeah. 2 heads just sitting in the veggie bin.
No.
I wonder what the humidity level was on.
Becky.
High or low? Yes or no? The heads were those of Fred and Edwina Rogers. What the officer obviously initially thought were unwrapped cuts of hog meat were actually the couple's dismembered limbs and torsos.
Oh, Jesus.
And you would never guess that by the hunks of meat. Like, you'll never fucking get that from the photos. Police later Police later discovered the couple's organs in a nearby sewer.
No.
Because, of course, they had been removed, cut up, and flushed down the toilet.
What the fuck are you saying? Like, what? Tell me this. What the fuck are you saying?
I don't know. I agree, ma'am. I don't know what
terrible,
the fuck.
And I'm mad. And apparently at you.
I know.
Keep going. This
my
is awful.
apologies for what I did in 1965.
This is awful.
The other body parts, they never found them. I'm impressed that they looked in the sewer system, to be very honest.
I mean, they sound like they're...
There's moments where you're like, wow, it was so obvious that John killed Jacob. Why are you not doing anything? There's literally evidence of John killing Jacob. And they're like, let's check the sewers. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Right.
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Doing your work. Police determined that Fred and Edwina Rogers had been killed on June 20th, which just happens to be Father's Day.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Once the autopsy was completed, they could better understand how they both had passed away. Fred was bludgeoned to death with a claw hammer, which is just a hammer, but we also called it a claw hammer. His eyes had been gouged out, and his genitalia was removed.
What the fuck?
Edwina had been beaten and shot, execution style, in the head. Police further said that the bodies were dismembered in the upstairs bathroom by someone with some knowledge of anatomy. And that's a quote. There was little blood in the house, and it appeared it had been thoroughly cleaned after the murders. What little blood was found led to Charles's bedroom. There, police found a blood-stained keyhole saw, which looks like an ice pick. I had to Google that because I was like, what's a keyhole saw? And it looks like an ice pick, but like a saw. So basically, if you would think it's really, really small. It's like this.
Okay.
And then gets a little bigger. So I'm going to guess that's what he used to dismember the bodies.
Ugh.
There's obviously no trace of Charles.
Yeah, where the fuck is he?
A search for him was launched and a warrant was issued for him as basically just to start a material witness to the crime. He was never, ever found.
Shut up.
Never found.
Like ever?
Homeboy just disappeared. Let's talk about some theories. The theory that the book I had mentioned before was based on is that Charles killed his parents because his mother was tracking his many telephone calls. Those that believe this said that he fled to Guatemala. I don't understand. I don't know why Guatemala.
Though?
Well, we'll keep going. Publishers Weekly reviewed the book, stating the authors do a workmanlike job with their thesis, but the degree of poetic license in terms of reconstructed dialogue and attributed thought seems excessive here, and sourcing is virtually non-existent. Assassination buffs, however, will welcome the book for its novelty, value, and its easy readability. So basically, they're like,
you churched it up, but we're going to let it stand.
Yeah.
Basically.
10 years end up passing, and Charles Rogers is still never found. In 1975, a Houston judge declares him legally dead so that his estate can be probated. To this day, the case still remains officially unsolved, and he still remains as the only suspect.
Where the fuck did he go?
So let's talk about a whole nother random fucking path that could have taken here. This one tantalizes my insides.
I don't know where you're going.
I didn't know where I was going either. Houston forensic accountant Hugh Gardenier. I don't know. Gardenier. Them and his wife Martha, they continued to investigate the case. And I don't really know why, but they did.
Yeah, that's
These
what I was gonna
forensic
ask
accountants are like, fuck this. We're going to dig into it. I'm going to bring my wife in. Martha, get in here. Let's look at these books.
Mrs. Garnier, what did you say?
Get over here. And they concluded that Rogers did murder his parents and was later killed in Honduras. While they have dismissed John R. Craig and Philip A. Rogers' claim that Rogers was a CIA operative due to a lack of evidence, they admit that Rogers did have dealings with contract workers for the CIA when he worked as a seismologist. So the Gardeniers believe that Rogers planned the murder of his parents for years because his father was abusive.
That's what I was going to ask, because whenever they go for the junk, it's usually like out of anger and rage.
Yeah. They believe.
But I don't want to say anything back because I don't know. But I'm just saying, you would think.
You mean that you don't know?
Outside, well, I really do. I just was waiting for you to do the story so I could just blow it out of the water.
You're like, my real name is Martha Gunier. I'd be like, what the fuck? Okay, anyway, they believe that both of his parents were actual devious con artists. According to them, Fred worked as a bookie who regularly engaged in illegal activities like gambling and fraud. And they believe he continued abusing Charles into adulthood and began stealing large sums of money from him. Yeah. The Gardeniers believed that after Rogers killed and dismembered his parents, he fled the U.S. from Mexico and was never found because he was aided by powerful friends he had met through his ham radio hobby and while working for various oil and mining companies.
I mean, I bet he did have friends in high places.
Yeah.
For sure.
He may have killed the president.
I mean,
if we don't stop and realize, too, like, there's a whole theory that he is one of the people that killed the president. They've theorized that Rogers eventually made his way to Honduras, where he was killed over a wage dispute with miners. And I'm like, where the fuck did you get that? Wage dispute with miners. I want to know, where the fuck did you get that? I want to know. It's like, or if I was just like, you know what, I have a theory. He got a hangnail. It got infected. And then he died.
You know what's dumb? Is that I know that my brain's still foggy because when you said minors, I thought of underage workers. Like not adults.
Oh, like just not like two 12-year-olds that were tired of working at McDonald's.
Swear to God. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And that one doesn't either, but
the other one, mine
yours
made
makes
a lot more
sense than mine.
Yes, it did.
These two 14-year-olds are pissed off. He was trying to shortchange them.
Yeah, I don't understand.
No, I don't.
In October of 2003, Red Bud, which is really hard for me to not say Redbug, Publishing released the Icebox Murders, a novel written by the Garniers.
Okay.
I'm acting like it's Garnier Fruit Teas.
That's
shampoo.
what I've been thinking the whole time. Those 2000s commercials.
According to a review in the Houston Press, the Icebox Murders is written as fact-based fiction and supposition. There are many unnamed characters in the book, various politicians and attorneys, as well as eyewitnesses who said he saw Rogers in Honduras after 1965. They also referred like that Publishers Weekly because apparently they're really important. They also referred to the novel as fact-based fiction. The house in which the murders took place was located at 1815 Driscoll Street. After the murders, the house remained empty and unsold. It was torn down in 1972. It remained empty until 2000 when they decided to build condominiums.
They built condos on it?
On the lot.
Bet they haunted as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the Icebox Murders, man.
That's nutso.
Ain't that some crazy shit?
And I knew a little bit about it, but I didn't know the theories behind it and all that shit.
So when I was reading it, I obviously first I searched by the Icebox Murders for all the people who want to know the hard-hitting facts and my research techniques. I had looked up the murders and then I Googled him because he's a whole thing in Wikipedia because of the John F. Kennedy shit. Mm-hmm. So then you're reading and you're like, what the fuck?
That is nutso.
So obviously he did something. Yeah. It's him. It was him. But it's like he had so much knowledge. Like you don't speak 7 languages unless you're in the CIA.
Right.
I am 100% confident.
That's
with
true.
all of my knowledge.
With all of your knowledge.
And his career has nothing that requires a language.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you worked for U.S. oil companies.
Well, he probably needed a couple for that. And he lived in Texas.
But he literally was the one that would be like, dig here. You know, he would just work with and it was Shell oil company. So
in my head, I just assume
most companies that have bilingual, like in my previous life, like they require you to use a specific language, like in contract dealings too. Like when we worked with the French, like you were not allowed to speak French in the room. Like you can't speak the other languages. You have to speak whatever is agreed upon that language. Because you could be lying or talking shit or all the other shit. Anyway,
Man.
so if that was the case, he didn't need all those languages. And then if he is tied to an assassination attempt and he's a pilot, he could have
he could have went anywhere.
Yeah. But also I just wonder if your dad was touching your naughty bits and you're a grown ass fucking CIA operative, why the fuck would you go live with your parents if obviously you make a shit ton of money? Where did your money go?
That part's well, maybe his dad took it all.
Unless he had planned it. Unless he was like, you know what? I'm just going to quit my fucking job. I've been planning this forever and I'm going to go cut off my dad's dick.
Maybe they were...
Chop it up and throw it in the toilet.
Oh, God.
Right? Because that's what happened.
I don't know.
I wonder how hard that would be to chop up. I feel like that's a very weird...
A penis?
Yes.
I mean...
I feel like you need a really sharp knife.
I'd ask Lorena Bobbitt.
You ain't lying.
I don't know. Didn't she chuck that out the window?
Yeah. Who wouldn't? She didn't want to chop it up, put it in her toilet. She's like, no.
Threw it out like a Marlboro Red.
I'm done with this. Poo on you. Roll down the windows. Fuck.
With the crank. Remember that when you said 7 languages, the only thing that was going through my head was, do you remember that old commercial with that red? Think of like when
100%. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Je suis la jouvie or something like. Do you remember?
100%.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that.
And it was that weird little cartoon guy.
Yeah, and it was that blonde kid. Okay. Anyway, that just popped into my head when you said that.
Well, maybe we should learn the language. I don't know. I feel like
weird?
Some shit happened.
Yeah.
And I don't think he died. I think this motherfucker got on one of his planes that he hijacked or paid off or something, and he was boot scooting boogieing. He could have also hid his money.
True. What year was it?
65.
Oh, yeah.
Shit was going on.
Yeah.
Anything before 9/11, they were just airplanes in the sky.
Right. Smoking up there. Fucking. Hijacks were all the time. They did do that quite a bit.
What? Fucking?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, is that what you're talking about? I was like, I saw that one show, Pan Am. They were fucking. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Smoking?
Smoking on planes.
Yeah, you were allowed to.
Yeah. Weird.
Just like at fucking Shoney's.
They'd be like smoking or not, and there's a bar with no window block.
Nothing.
I could sit 8 inches away from you.
I can't believe there's no smoking little spots in airports anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I took them bitches out. They were like, you know what? We're not doing this.
That's why you see so many angry people running outside, lighting their lighter in the middle of the automatic doorway.
Yep. You ain't lying. So, yeah, that was my story.
That was wild.
I thought it was an interesting one. It didn't sometimes the stories don't make me sad. I hate to say that.
Well,
but this one was really riveting.
Uh-huh. There's evidence that they might not have been stellar people.
But also old ones tend to...
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do a throwback, I think. I don't know.
Throwbacks are fun.
I got to do something.
Well, just a fun fact on ones that we're about to be doing so that you guys can get excited about it. We're going to do Eileen Wuornos here coming up.
Guess where we're going to do it?
Whenever we're at CrimeCon. When we're in Orlando, because that should happen in Florida. And you know how we are a bitch and a slut and a skank for a theme. You know what these sassy Sassholes are? We are theming it. Yeah, you're right.
We haven't done it in a while.
And now we're about to. I'm literally going to bathe in themes for the next, 16 weeks. Most likely. I'm going to be themed all up and downtown.
We ride at dawn.
We do.
We do.
We do. Well, we love you guys. You make our hearts full and really warm and happy.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with us.
Yeah.
And thanks for subscribing. Keep telling your friends.
Do it. That's all I got. Can you guys just do it? All right. Thank you. We love you. Bye.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?